legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feeling that power you have, your determination to control your breathing. The same way you can take control of your mind anywhere you are, whatever you're doing. Let's use that same power, that same determination to see in our mind the image, the visions that we want to create today in our lives. Let's see ourselves doing the best we can on all of the stretches and exercises we do together here and now. Let's use that power we have, our true being, our presence, our determination to see in our mind right now, go into the future. Think about what you want to make real. Bring it to the present. And that music goes off.
In the night I lie and look up at you. When the morning comes I watch you rise. There's a paradise they couldn't capture, that bright infinity inside your eyes.
매일 밤 내게 날아가 꿈이란 것도 잊은 채 나 웃으며 너를 만나 Never ending forever baby.
어둠이 내겐 더 변했었지. 길어진 그림자 속에서
And the thought that we can't be together Because we come from different sides. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make my world light up inside. My universe, my universe, my universe. 나를 밝혀주는 건 너란 사랑으로 수놓아진 별. 내 우주에 넌 다른 세상을 만들어주는 걸. 너는 내 별이자 나의 호주니까 지금 이 시련도 결국엔 잠시니까. 너는 언제까지나 지금처럼 밝게만 빛나줘. 우리는 너로 따라 이긴 밤을 수놓고 너와 함께 날아가. When I'm without you I'm crazy. 자 어서 내 손을 잡아. We are made of each other baby. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make the world light up inside. My universe, my universe, my universe.
Like he's going to go for the corner. Oh, he doesn't just go for it. Past Ortiz.
Morning, guys. One of the greatest things I've learned in my life, and I want to share this with you in case you are going through a very difficult time right now. Our difficulties, our struggles, our pains, our challenges, all that darkness, that is where we find out what we're made of, why we were born. See, we were born in darkness. We were born in the womb. We came out of nowhere, and we are miracles, but we have to remember that. And the reason why we are miracles and we are meant to live with purpose is because we have that energy, that determination that will not stop. If we make that decision to take whatever is happening to us and change the way we think and what we do about it. So whatever you're going through right now, if you're going through a really tough time, a dark time, a challenging time, I want you to remember your determination, it's meant to come out of your darkness. Have a great day, everyone.
How do you deal with negative people? Now, wait a second, don't jump anywhere because maybe you think you know the answer to this, but I have a different take on it. Because you know what, today it's very popular for people to tell you, well, just get rid of negative people. Never be around them. Just be around positive people all the time. But what happens when the negative person is your spouse or your brother or your sister or that guy at work you have to sit next to every day, dude? What do you do when real life is here and we're not in some la-la land of personal development where everybody's positive and perfect? Because you and I both know there are people out there who are very critical, who will be harsh with you, who will try to find every little thing they can to comment about you, or they're always complaining about the weather or the news, and just their energy makes you want to just like repel. That's real. And sometimes you can't get rid of those people. And sometimes, in my personal opinion, I don't know, somehow the advice of just get rid of everything in life that you don't like seems a little weak-willed, if you know what I mean. You know, it's just like, gosh, yes, it's wonderful that we have this new modern age of ease and convenience, and there are lots of options for us. But you know, we also have to develop our character. So let me tell you my thoughts about number one thing you should do when you got to deal with negative people. Use it. Use their energy, use that energy they put out there, use that challenge for your own character development. Really. See, when someone's negative around me, I don't sit there and I don't become a victim. Oh gosh, they're such negative. I don't go home and assume their energy and now I'm negative. Instead, I go, you know what? This is a moment to test. Am I really in command of my emotions and how I think, or are they? Am I giving my power over to the world so that they can just take my energy and turn it to what they want, or am I in charge? So I use it as a challenge. Not as something, I don't have to challenge or change them immediately. I'll get to that point. But I get to the point where I say, you know what? Here's a little challenge the world's throwing at me right now. Can I stay on my game? Can I stay centered? Can I stay peaceful? Can I stay calm? Can I stay present right here, right now, and not have to run away from it, not have to pretend it's not there, but use it? And I encourage you to do that. Because if it's just something that you immediately complain about, well then, in your complaint, you just let them win. Their negativity has turned you into noticing what is negative, and you lost. You're not winning. Even if you can critically, throw a barb at it, make fun of it, you're still losing. You're being sucked into their pools of pessimism. You're drowning. So I say, use it, recognize it, and use it. Second, I say this, empathize. You know, a lot of people who are being in a negative mood or negative energy, you don't know why. You know, you've had a bad day too. You've been rude. Yes, I know you're amazing and you watch this show and you're really into personal development, but at the end of the day, you've been rude to people too. You've had a bad day. You've snapped. You've been impatient. You've hollered. You've been a jerk when you shouldn't have been. You know it. Well, other people do too. So when somebody is negative, always wonder, I wonder what happened today that led to that. You know, maybe the kids got out of the wrong side of bed and they were just horrible that morning and that person didn't sleep last night. Maybe something happened with their family. Maybe on the way to the work, they just thought of something very depressing in their past. Maybe the truth is, right now, they're so unclear about who they are and what they want in life that they're taking out on other people. Maybe their own failures, their own struggles, their own disappointments have ravaged them and led them to, depression, led them to mental disorder. The reality is we never know someone's story. And once you can teach yourself that, I really believe you become a better human. You become more compassionate, you're better at listening, you're better able to understand because you have the intention to sympathize and say, oh, that person's really in a bad place right now. You don't take ownership of that, say, well, I didn't cause it. You just say simply, they're in a bad place. I hope they're okay. I think it's a real, true personal power to be able to walk by negative people and still say, I wish you nothing but joy and health and strength and love in your life. To have that hope for people, even when they're in a bad place, that's humanity. I would say number 3, go for it. Shift it. It's one of my favorite games I play in my entire life. When there's a group of people around me and they're in a negative energy, I love to try and shift it. Not by telling them they're in a bad energy, but by trying to introduce humor, trying to introduce something, pointing out something that I'm grateful for, that I appreciate, making fun of the situation, teasing, making fun of myself. Whatever I need to do, I take it as a challenge to how can I say something stupid that makes them kind of shift their energy. I call it leveling up. So it's like when you're around a group of people and their energy is down here, can you level up? Not by accosting them and saying, your energy sucks, I hate you, but instead by introducing the positive into that negative situation. Because you'll find that if you'll do those first couple steps, you really focus on using that situation to test yourself and that you're still empathetic. Then when you come in and you try to shift it, it's just like, wow, you'll really develop people skills. You'll really develop the ability to lead. You'll really develop the ability to start movements, to make a difference, because nothing shifts the world more than you shifting your energy to complement or to serve the world. So give it a try. Try to shift that energy. And last piece, which I think is really, really important, is do not fear making the request. Saying to somebody straightforward, especially if they're negative all the time around you, don't blame them, don't be mean to them, don't belittle them, don't hit them with negative energy. Instead, make a request. Say this, you know what? I've just been having a hard time lately with my energy. And I know sometimes, you're in that place too, and there's a lot going on that's negative and everything, but can I ask you a favor? Could you just play a game with me and just try to be attentive to your energy and be positive with me, just for me? I know you're good and you got your own stuff. I'm just wondering, could you help kind of just increase the energy around here for a little while? I've noticed the team needs it. I've noticed the kids need it. I've noticed that I'm having a tough time and I know you can help me out and I just feel like the energy around here is too negative. Sometimes I contribute to that, and I know you have your tough times, but I wonder if together we could just say, you know what? Let's be a little bit more positive. Could we try? And just enroll them. Don't blame them. Don't minimize them. Enroll them. Try these ideas. I know it's difficult when somebody who's in your family or somebody who you work with every day or somebody who you care about isn't as positive as you. But you don't have to throw them out like yesterday's garbage. There's always going to be negative people. So the question isn't, can you get rid of all of them? There's 7 billion people on the planet. That'd be getting rid of a lot of people. Instead, learn to use it as something that develops your strengths as a human and allows you to serve people and for you to inject more positive energy into the world. Do that more often, you'll experience what we call the charge zone.
East delivers the ball in. Guillermo's there, but so is Barca. Messi has levelled.
Morning, guys. Today in our top 10 rules for success, Les Brown shares with us his 7th rule, and that is do more than what you're paid for. So Les Brown shares with us a story of his life and a former job he had, a former boss he was working for, and how he had let this person, these outside conditions, consume him and anger him and make him feel frustrated. Until one day Les Brown thought, you know what? I got to make this happen. I got to take what's happening to me and change my life. And so he started working harder. He started getting up earlier. He started working later. Again, doing the things that he knew would help make him self-determining. He knew he wanted to take that pain, that anger, that outside condition, that person caused him, and flip it and make it work for his life. You have that power too. Whatever it is, whatever you think is causing you pain outside of you, within you, you can take it, make a decision, and do great things with it. Have a great day, everyone.
How many times do we have to forget until we stop forgetting and start remembering? That's the moment of change. No one cares how many times you fell off the bicycle if you ride the bicycle now. Sometimes we look for evidence in our life and it hasn't happened, and I think it's so important we still show up. That's where you're changing the most. And when you get to that point where you could care less, you're changing the signal in the field. And if you're able to maintain that state for an extended period of time, I say something magical is going to happen in your life. Something unusual, some unknown experience is going to occur.
When a person can create the right type of energy, the right type of frequency from the field, and there's a vibrational match between their energy and whatever they want in their life, all of a sudden they start drawing experiences to them out of nowhere.
It's so much easier to forget that vision than to remember it. So if you're going to remember it, you got to keep it alive in your mind. Don't be thinking about what's going to happen in your day. You already know what's going to happen. Don't think what happened yesterday. You already know that. Get in the present moment and say, who do I want to be when I open my eyes?
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I watch these videos every day because I need them for motivation. Being around successful entrepreneurs every morning helps me believe that I can do great things too. It's like your morning coffee, but for your goals, kickstarting your day with a blast of positivity. So here is a challenge for you. Try watching one video every morning for the next 30 days. And let's find out together if they help you do great things too. If you're in, leave a hashtag BELIEVE in the comments below so I can celebrate with you.
If you keep thinking the same thoughts, if you keep making the same choices, you keep doing the same things, you keep creating the same experiences, you keep feeling the same emotions, I don't know, let's be conservative. You do that for 10 years. You would have to agree with me then that it would become more automatic, it would become more unconscious. So your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. That is it. And your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. So keep thinking the same way, keep acting the same way, keep feeling the same way. Your personality is the same, and your personal reality would be the same as well. So if you wanted to change your life, if you wanted to change your personal reality, you would have to change your personality. And then you'd have to start thinking about what you've been thinking about and decide if you really want to believe that any longer. And when does the story end? It's that moment that you become so conscious of that thought, you're so tired of it, you're so aware of it that you would never let it slip by your awareness ever again. You catch yourself complaining and blaming and making excuses and feeling sorry for yourself, and that's been your unconscious program. Then the moment you become conscious of those unconscious behaviors, you're out of the program. You're only in the program when you're unconscious, and so it takes an enormous amount of energy and awareness to separate from those programs. And then there's those emotions that we feel every single day that are so familiar to us that we don't even know what they are. We just feel guilty. We don't even know it's guilt. It's just how we feel. And the stronger the emotions that we have to experiences in our life, the more altered we are inside of us. When the chemistry changes inside of us, the brain narrows the focus on the cause and takes a snapshot or a series of snapshots, and that's called a long-term memory. And so then makes total sense then that a person, by every time they relive that event in their life, they're making the same chemistry in their brain and their body, and their body's literally believing it's living that experience over and over again. And now the body's so in the past that it's the mind of the past. So then the act of becoming so conscious that you don't go unconscious is a changing of consciousness. How many times do we have to forget until we stop forgetting and start remembering? That is the moment of change.
Rule number 2 is master your emotions.
If you're living in stress and you're living in survival and that system is switched on, then everything will be a threat. Everything will be a danger. Everything will be a reason to rush, to be impatient, to be frustrated, to be judgmental, because that's the consciousness, that's the emotion we're living by. So now you have a problem with a coworker, you have a problem with your partner, whatever it is that you used as an example, and you have to give a presentation. Now you really have one of two choices. Either be victimized by those conditions in your life and you stay in that emotional state. And I'll say to you, Jay, why are you that way? Well, I'm this way because of this person, this circumstance. The person or circumstance is controlling the way I feel and the way I think. Anything that controls the way I feel and the way I think, I'm victim to, right? Okay. Or I actually can be a creator now. Okay. So when it's the hardest, it matters the most. Okay. So there's going to be a story, a valid story that's going to go along with those emotions that you're going to have to give up, that you can address at another time from a different state. If you're altered in that state and you say something, you do something, you write the email, you send the text, you'll always regret it. You'll always say, I should have never said that. I should have never done that. We got to learn that we're in an altered state at that time. So there's only one of two choices. You either stay there the whole day and tell everybody that story, or you say, okay, let me take a moment. Remember that this is the experiment called life. Okay, let me practice getting relaxed in my heart. Let me slow the animal down. Let me practice. I'll take a few minutes. Now, let me breathe. Let me get my state back. Let me change everything. Okay, let me remember who I am, who I want to be when I open my eyes, and let me practice that again. Now, even if you had to do that 10 times in one day, I would say it was a day worth living. I would say it was a day worth living. And when we do walking meditations, in our retreats, we're doing walking meditations so you can practice doing it with your eyes open.
Yes.
Like if you're going to be relaxed in your heart and awake in your brain, and you can do it with your eyes closed, okay, let's take it out for a test drive. Let me open my eyes. Let me pay a little bit more attention to my inner world. Let me practice feeling this feeling. Let me practice feeling this way, and let my brain do what it does. Let me let me change my physiology. Let me change my state. Let me walk as the healed person. Let me walk as the abundant person. Let me walk as if my prayers are answered. Let me walk in this state. If I keep practicing that over and over, it's going to become a habit, right?
Yeah.
So we hit it as many ways as we can. We have at least 7 or 8 different breaths that we do because we see how they all work in the brain. We have all kinds of meditations. We have sitting meditations. We have standing and walking meditations. We have laying down meditations because we want you to be able to do it with your eyes open, with your eyes closed, standing, walking, any way you can so that you don't default and return back to that person. Now, if you do default, you didn't fail. That's a program. You just went unconscious. And how many times do we have to forget until we stop forgetting and start remembering? That's the moment of change. No one cares how many times you fell off the bicycle. If you ride the bicycle now, you ride the bike. So it's the constant process every single day. And I think that sometimes we look for evidence in our life and it hasn't happened. And I think it's so important that we still show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where you're changing the most. And when you get to that point where you could care less if it happens or not, because you feel so happy, so grateful for who you are, get ready because your life is going to begin to change in magical ways.
Rule number 3 is create synchronicities.
When a person can create the right type of energy, the right type of frequency from the field, and there's a vibrational match between their energy and whatever they want in their life, all of a sudden they start drawing experiences to them. out of nowhere, they get the phone call. Hey, I got
synchronicity.
That's synchronicity. Why? Because you're synchronizing your energy to a possibility in your life. Now, in the quantum, every thought has a frequency. So when a person has the thought of their new job and they can feel the frequency of that thought, it wouldn't be lack, it wouldn't be separation, it wouldn't be frustration. The frequency of the thought of a new job would create the feeling of euphoria, excitement, bliss, gratitude. And thoughts tend to be electric in the quantum field, and feelings tend to be magnetic. And now we teach people how to create a Wi-Fi signal when they connect to the field, and they literally change their energy. The thought being the electrical charge, the feeling being the magnetic charge, and how you think and how you feel is broadcasting energy. Now, there's a little bit more that has to happen because you have to have coherence in your brain. The brain's got to be very orderly, and it's emitting a field. And the heart,
which it can do with stress.
Stress is static. Stress, you disconnect because all of your attention is going on everything physical and material, and you're drawing from this energy that's surrounding your body, and you're turning it into chemistry, and now you're isolated, you're separate. So we teach people how to get that brain coherence going and that heart coherence going, and coherence is rhythm and order. And now you have this Wi-Fi signal, and when there's a vibrational match, or you've synchronized your energy to synchronicity, those serendipities, those coincidences, those synchronicities, those opportunities start coming to you. Now, what's the cool part about that? It seems like there's a shortening of time between the thought of what you want and the experience of what you want, between cause and effect. When we create from the field instead of from matter, if we get really good at it, then the feedback that we experience in our life is letting us know that we're doing something correctly. And when you start getting the phone call or the email or the introduction to somebody, and you scratch your head and you go, oh my God, I'm the creator of my life. And all of a sudden, the next day, your belief in what's possible grows dramatically. So when you sit down to do it the next time, you get better at it. And all of a sudden, more synchronicities start to happen. And so the side effect of it is, and this is what I'm proud of in our community, is that people do the work. They don't do it because they have to do it. They do it because they don't want the magic to end. They want the synchronicities to keep happening. Now,
Rule number 4 is believe in yourself.
If you believe in yourself, it means you have to believe in possibility. And if you believe in possibility, you're going to have to believe in yourself. And so something really cool happens when you do this that I just discovered recently. Just watching people at our week-long events, because you got to go all in. You got to go all in. And it's 7 days and it's a lot and it's super intense. And there's times where you don't want to show up because I'm pushing people across the river of change. There comes a moment where people keep showing up for themselves. They keep showing up for themselves in spite of the weather, in spite of their foot hurting, in spite of their bad dream, in spite of the whatever, their fight with or whoever. They keep showing up. They get really worthy to receive. They feel really worthy, like I am worthy to receive this gift. And the universe only gives us what we think we're worthy of receiving, right? So we got to get to that point because so many people who are in lack somehow don't feel worthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the abundance then becomes the sign that you finally become worthy. And for the soul, it's not about the abundance. It's about mastering your worthiness. And the reflection is the things that you accumulate. Listen, my dad used to say this to me all the time. He'd say, wait a second. Just sit down with me here. If anybody else can do it, you could do it also.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is stay present.
I would love for you to
this be real? It's like I'm living a dream, but it's how everyone feels. We all unite with one feel. So let's wave our hands. We can sing, we can dance. We are strong, hold on tight. From afar we unite. Ah yeah, ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our. This is the time of our. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. I love this moment right now. No one can take it away. So let it happen and how. It's why I cherish each day. So let's wave our hands. We can sing, we can dance. We are strong, hold on tight. From afar we unite.
Here we go.
Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. What we see, destiny. Realize now we all know the greatest. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah yeah, here we go, ah yeah. This is the time of our.
Lionel Messi into the area. Now they have to watch the steps. Oh, magical Messi!
Guys, I want to share with you a personal experience that will highlight the power of determination, which I fully realized in this moment of my life. I'm going to take you back to when my first daughter was born, and at that moment where she was arriving into this world, and I don't want to paint all the graphic details, but my wife demonstrated just how powerful we are when we make a decision, when we find that motivation. And I think this is perfect for living our way to infinite mind wealth. Remembering that in a moment, we can show that determination. So when they threatened my wife with a C-section because it was a challenging delivery, I will never forget the one last roar and push that came out to bring our beautiful daughter into this world. And I thought, that spirit, that decision in that moment, what if we could channel that every single day in every decision we make? It's possible. Have a great day, everyone.
The habit of pausing when agitated, to avoid reacting to situations the way you always have, and instead indulging a moment to first reflect. In other words, maybe don't immediately respond to the upsetting email until tomorrow. Walk away from the computer. You know that's what you're supposed to do. Sleep on it. Talk it through with that trusted friend. It also means, another trope, how you do anything is how you do everything. How you make coffee, how you interact with the grocery clerk, how you take feedback from your boss, how you respond when someone cuts you off in traffic, or what you choose to notice or pay attention to while walking down the street. It means slowing down. And this is why consistent meditation and mindfulness practices are essential non-negotiables.
Need motivation?
Watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need it. I need it for me because I don't wake up every day and say, yes, let's go conquer the world. No, I wake up and I need that external motivation to match my internal motivation. When I see somebody who's doing amazing things, it makes me just want to play a bigger game. And so I hope that today's video makes you want to play a bigger game too, because your message matters, and let's get it out to the world. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Rich Roll, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is learn to prioritize.
So work-life balance in and of itself is a pretty ridiculous concept. To think that there is a balance, there really must be, as you kind of describe it, a subjective balance where there's a balance for Steve. And as long as I don't sacrifice social connection, isolation, and all the other things, then I'm balanced. My balance could, look much different from yours.
For whom and when, right? If you're 22 years old and you've got this idea for a startup and you're a coder and you want to code like a maniac, like knock yourself out. You have no other responsibilities. You have the time, you have the freedom to do that in that moment. But that 22-year-old, 20 years later with kids and a mortgage and whatever, it's a different time. That person's in a different place. These things, they have to be contextualized, right? And yes, if you want to achieve something great, you are going to have to work very hard and you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You may even need to be obsessed. If you're living an entirely balanced life where you're home at 5 o'clock and you're always at dinner and all, it's like you're making it very difficult to achieve something extraordinary. That extraordinary thing is going to require an extraordinary commitment, which means in the social construct of balance, you are going to be out of balance. If you're going to feel uncomfortable with that because you have other priorities in your life, then maybe that's not for you. And being out of balance to pursue something great, in my opinion, is perfectly fine. Again, as long as you allow that pendulum to swing back and those other things in your life that are important are nourished and attended to. So it's a very specific thing. It depends on who you are, what stage of life you're in, what you're seeking, and having the self-awareness to understand that you can't be everywhere all the time. And you can't be 100% for all of the things that are important to you in your life in every single day. So it's about conscious awareness and intentionality about where you're rowing that boat. You can only row your boat in one direction. Are you rowing the Stephen boat towards Stephen today? Are you going to row it towards your girlfriend? Well, you're going to have to do a lot of rowing in a lot of different directions. It's just knowing that you're making a conscious choice and doing that with that understanding and appreciation, I think is really important. But all of this is to put the lie to the idea that anybody is living a balanced life on a minute-to-minute, hour-to-hour, day-to-day basis. It's a construct that I think makes people feel guilty and bad about themselves, because none of us are adhering to that idealized version of a balanced life that we have a mental picture of.
Rule number 3 is take small steps.
Once you've acknowledged a desire to change, how do you enact these mindset changes in your life?
This is a subject matter that you're kind of tiptoeing around that I was trying to get at in that recent monologue episode.
Yes.
The yin and yang of change. On the one hand, there is this mindfulness, presence, Eastern piece, which is when you're paying attention, you can notice the recurrences of your thoughts and you can catch yourself before you react mindlessly, and you can decide to behave differently, and you can remember like, oh, here I am doing that negative thing. I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay, here's my opportunity to do the positive thing. And that only happens when you slow things down and you develop that muscle of mindfulness and paying attention and being present. The other side of it is the action piece. So the mindfulness piece is like, it can be like a lightning bolt. Like you could change your mind and your life is different all at once.
Yeah.
It can happen in an instance. So there's the lightning bolts, and then there's the bricklaying part, the action part, the atomic little pieces, the James Clear kind of habit forming behavior that leads to incremental change over time. And I think both of those things are important. Mood follows action. Action first creates
Mood follows
the
action.
mindset changes and the emotional changes. So all of these things emanate from action. So when you say, I want to change my mindset, first of all, great. Let's recognize and applaud you for, having that, desire. But I think everybody kind of wants to be better, has a desire for their life to be a little bit better than it is. So let's not make too much of that. The real rubber meets the road when we start talking about how you translate that desire into something, anything, behavior, right? It's all about execution and action. So when you say, I'm looking for a mindset change, what does that mean? That's such a vague thing. I want to be more positive. Still super vague. You have to be very specific. You can't just suddenly start thinking differently, because mindset is, like I said, both a reflection and a product of behavior. And it's less about what you're thinking, and it's more about what are you doing on the bricklayer side of things. Like act first, the mind will follow, mood follows action. And that is effective when you have clarity, specificity, and structure around what that looks like. And so you need to translate that desire to change into, first, like, what does it look like? And what are the doable, repeatable, sustainable actions that you can take every single day, like James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits? And how do you protect them and prioritize them so that they're repeatable and sustainable within the construct of your busy life? If it becomes disruptive to your life, you're setting yourself up for failure. The people who are successful are the people who are able to make those tiny, invisible, atomic tweaks, repeat them enough until they become rote, and then build upon them. So their lifestyle shifts gradually in, kind of proportion to the changes that are being made. And you kind of expand in this organic, gradual way.
Rule number 4 is connect with yourself.
Allow your
here, right now, no matter how hard our movements, exercises were today, no matter how much our body tried to take control of our minds, feel that? That's you. The real you. That's our consciousness. Our being awake fully. To control our minds, to control our breathing, to control our bodies, to control our lives. It's all possible through the power of you being present, staying in the now, right here, right now, wherever you are, wherever you are. There is no past and future right now.